The playoffs are here, and you can predict the action all the way to the finals with FanDuel Predicts. Predict the spread, the total points, and even the game-winning moments that make the playoffs. Sign up and get a $25 bonus with FanDuel Predicts.
Offered by FanDuel Prediction Markets, LLC, a registered futures commission merchant. 18-plus bonus is non-withdrawable and expires 7 days after receipt. Trading derivatives involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Manage your activity with their consumer protection tools. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/predicts/bonus-offer-terms.
Taking it directly to Mom Donnie's residence. Mr. Mayor, you're not as slick as what you think you are. I want to bring in live right now Jayne Zirkle. Jayne, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so 7 p.m. tonight at the mayor's residence. What's going to happen? Why are you folks doing this?
Tonight is about taking New York City back from Mamdani, back from the pro-Hamas mobs that are terrorizing New York City. And tonight we have built a coalition that is unlike any other. We have Muslims, we have Hindus, we have Christians, we have Jews, we have Democrats, we have Republicans. This transcends politics and the things that normally divide us, because tonight we are all coming together as proud Americans standing against Sharia supremacy and radical Islamic terrorism. We are almost at 25 years since September 11th, and a lot of people are asking me, what is a 24-year-old doing leading an anti-Mamdani protest when so many of my peers support Mamdani? And that's because I was born after 9/11, and I grew up in the shadow of it, understanding what radical Islamic terrorism has cost this country. And because I was born after 9/11, I feel an even greater responsibility to make sure that we never forget the lives lost that day, and we never forgot who and what caused it. We are at war for the future of this country, and tonight is the beginning of a very powerful movement that we've established here.
So why bring it to Mamdani's house, Gracie Mansion?
Because Mamdani is inspiring this. We see it in his actions. We see it in how he's snubbing the Israel Day parade. We see how he is removing protections for Jewish Americans in New York City while these pro-Hamas mobs continue to target synagogues, and how anti-Semitic hate crimes are surging. Jews have become second-class citizens in Mamdani's New York, and we have to take a stand against that, because attacks on the Jewish community do not stop with the Jewish community. They are attacks on every member of faith, every person who believes in freedom.
And so for folks listening right now, and folks, if you want to ask Jayne a question, she's with us for the first segment. The number to reach her live right now is 800-848-9222. For folks interested in possibly attending tonight, you're only a few hours away. How can they do so, and how can they contact the organization?
Yes, so the protest is outside of Gracie Mansion. Per NYPD requirements, you do have to enter on 87th and York Avenue. That's very important because that's actually around the corner from Gracie Mansion. But because we have received such a, enthusiastic response to this, we have put in additional security measures to ensure we have a safe, peaceful evening. If you want more information, you can go to endjewhatred.com/Mamdani, where you will find various materials that you can print out to bring to the protest. We will have signs available there, but we will have additional materials available on our website. And you can also follow us on social media at endjewhatred, or myself at Jayne Zirkle.
And so I'm told that you're expecting as much as 1,000 people out there in just a matter of a few hours?
I would say we're going to get over 1,000. I mean, I've received word that we have people even flying in from out of state who feel inspired by this. I mean, this is not unique to New York City, what's going on here with terrorist flags flying in communities and these Islamic mobs popping up that are with these, pro-Hamas messages. This is happening all over the country. It's happening on college campuses all across the country. And so this really resonates with all Americans who believe in fighting for Western civilization. And that's what this is. This is so much bigger than any one group or any one isolated incident. It's part of a larger picture, and that is defending Western civilization.
And we are chatting now live with Jayne Zirkle. Jayne is going to be there at the protest tonight outside Mamdani's home, which happens to be Gracie Mansion. And the group, End Jew Hatred, they're going to be there protesting. Now, Jayne, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, but you're not worried about safety. The last time there was a large gathering at Gracie Mansion was when those two men from Pennsylvania came and tried to throw those pipe bombs.
Sure. Safety is our top priority. We have taken every security measure possible. The NYPD are on full alert, and I really want to thank our NYPD officers for being so helpful in making sure this protest happens tonight and making sure that everyone stays safe. Once again, that entrance for secure entry is on 87th and York Avenue. And so far, we have not heard of any counter protests going on. If that is the case, though, I have been informed that they will be kept in a separate area to ensure that our event can go on peacefully and everybody has the right to their First Amendment.
And that would be wonderful if it goes down that way, that you can exercise your First Amendment rights the same way that these anti-Jewish protesters are given a full green light from City Hall. I don't know if you're a sports fan, but this really transcends sports. The fact that Mom Donnie says no New York Knicks watch party, but yet you have these anti-Israel groups literally terrorizing the Jewish community in New York. Have you paid attention to that? Is that much ado about nothing? The fact that he says no Nick party, but yet these anti-Semitic protests go forward?
I think it's just blatant hypocrisy. I mean, the Knicks tradition, it's something that, again, is a part of New York culture. The same thing with the Israel Day Parade. I mean, this mayor is just totally out of line with what New York is about, and he is out of touch with real New Yorkers. I mean, when you look at who elected this guy, most of these people are not real New Yorkers. You know, we're talking about the transplants. We're talking about the Gen Zers who just moved here and decided to bring their left-wing ideology from their college campuses to New York City and elect this Marxist mayor. And that's what he's bringing. He's bringing in this Marxist, pro-radical Islamic agenda, and we see it infiltrating across the city.
And it's horrible. And you know what, Jayne, I have to be honest about something. So sometimes I do a lot of my thinking very early in the morning when I'm exhausted, when I first wake up, or in the shower. And then it hit me this morning like a ton of bricks that we have a mayor of New York City that is not going to be at the Israeli Day Parade. If that's not a slap in the face, what is?
New York City is home to the largest Jewish community in the United States of America. And Israeli businesses provide jobs for tens of thousands of New Yorkers. And you see how Mandami even snubs them on the economic page. He deleted a page dedicated to Israeli businesses. And this does not hurt Israel. All these people screaming Israel this and Israel that, and, you know, we need to cut off Israel. This is hurting New Yorkers because he's doing this to New Yorkers and he's messing with their jobs and their livelihoods and their communities. You know, New York is a very vast, diverse place. And for him to be treating the Jewish community like this is absolutely disgusting. But it's also how he treats really all faith communities. And you see how he's conducted himself throughout his term as mayor so far. I mean, he has repeatedly snubbed Christians. He's snubbed Catholics. And he is just breaking away from the things that make New York great.
Do you, and I close on this, and then I'm going to go to some calls from the public, but we'll let you go in about 40 seconds. You really don't have hope that Governor Hochul is going to remove this guy in an election year, do you?
I think we have built such a strong and unique coalition with so many different leaders and community organizers that tonight is going to be a tremendous show of pressure. And it's just the beginning because we're going to keep going and going until we save New York City.
Well, I hear you, and I heard you loud and clear where you said several times, this is just the beginning, and I believe you. Jayne Zirkle, thank you so much for joining us live. We'll be following your protest tonight against anti-Semitism and against the mayor of New York City, Mamdani, at Gracie Mansion, which starts at 7 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.